Some call me Raven, the dark talon of death.
What's up guys, it's your boy BLACKTALON Gaming back on the channel, and today we're going to be doing a Victor punishment guide in Tekken 8. So what that means is, essentially, Victor is one of the most popular characters used right now in Tekken 8 online, and he's a new character in the game. So that means not only is he really cool, and he's really stylish and stuff like that, and a lot of people are picking him, but a lot of people don't know how to defend against a lot of the shenanigans that he does. And hopefully in this video, I can show you guys 10 moves that you should definitely be punishing against Victor. Okay, so the first move we're gonna start off with is Victor's up forward 4, which is his hop kick. As you guys can see in the frame data right there, this move is minus 17, minus 19, my goodness. So a lot of Victors are gonna throw this out when they're getting pressure. They might throw it out on wake up, of course, to get a quick launcher. Most hop kicks are like minus 13 on block. His is minus 19. That's a lot. You can look at him and still launch him. See, look at that. You can look at him for a second and you can still launch him. That's extremely minus. So a 1-2 in this situation is not gonna suffice. Always launch this on block for heavy damage, as you can see here. The second move on our list is going to be Victor's While Rising 1. Look at that. As you guys can see here, it is minus 16 on block. Now, this move that Victor's doing is a mid launcher. And as you guys can see, it looks like it might have homing. I'm not entirely sure. So it's a pretty good launcher, but it's minus 16 on block, which means that's launch punishable. Anything minus 15 or above is launch punishable. Most characters in this game have at least a 15 frame or at least a 16 frame launcher. So everyone should be getting a launch on this move with their desired punish. All right, so the next move on our list is gonna be this move right here. Victor's down forward 4-1. This is a move that Victor players are gonna throw out a lot. This is a common string that Victor players are gonna kind of use on you to go into their little sword stance right here to do their shenanigans. So as you can see right here, it's a mid into a high, and then he teleports forward and goes into his sword stance. So how to punish this exactly? This second hit is a high. So what you wanna do is, you wanna duck the second hit like I did just now, and then you wanna launch him. And then of course you can take him to the wall for big damage. Just like that. But it's very important to duck the second hit of this on reaction. Once you see his knee go up and you see him shoot the gun and say the little voice line, you gotta duck, like on a reaction. This is something you gotta train yourself to do every single time against this character. Once he says that little pole arm, whatever he says, you gotta duck, just duck. That means he's shooting his gun. All right, the fourth move on our list is going to be his 2-2-2-2-2 string. You're gonna see a lot of Victor players doing this string right here. You're gonna see a lot of Victor players doing that string right there. So this is the full string right here. Shoots the gun and then does shenanigans, right? Once again, very much so similar to the last move where he just puts his knee up and shoots the gun. This has a whole string attached to it. So it's actually easier to defend against because it's pretty predictable. So essentially how you want to deal with this string is, once again, just like the last string, you want to duck the gun move. You want to duck that high and launch that Victor for full damage. Sometimes Victor players are going to do this on block. Once again, to get into their little sword stance shenanigans, wait until he does the teleport, and then of course, take him to the wall for big damage. Just like that. He can't block while he's in that little sword stance and holding his sword. So you're free to get a full punish on him if you make the correct read and defend against this. He can't block in that stance. So as you can see here, you can get a full launch by ducking the third hit or whatever, that little gun move, and then taking him to the wall and doing big damage. It's very important that you duck this move. This is a very common move used by kind of Victor players, lower ranked Victor players who are just picking the game up. So make sure that you interrupt this move and that you're able to defend against these shenanigans. So the fifth move on our list is going to be Victor's back 1-2. This move right here. This is another pretty common string used by Victor players. It's a way to fish for a counter hit, right? He does that right there. So watch this. If I mash right there, I get hit, right? So, yeah, see? So if I mash on that first hit, I get hit and I get knocked down and he side switches. So you don't want to mash against this. What you want to do is you want to duck the second hit. because it's a high, which means you can duck it and launch them to the wall for big damage. Say it with me now. Now, the 6th move on our list is going to be Victor's forward 4-2. This is a really good move. As you can see, this is the move where he dashes forward and pretty much launches you all across the screen, okay? He has a pretty distinctive voice cue when he does it. Pretty common. If you guys play online, you know what this move is right here. But look at the frame data. It's -16 on block, with a little bit of pushback, of course. So punishing this move is going to be very character reliant, which means you might need to lab this with your specific character. But for Shaheen, I get a hop kick every single time. So no big deal. As long as it's not at tip range, I think. Yeah, if it's at tip range, I don't think I get a hop kick because it doesn't reach. But what I do get, okay, I don't get a down forward 2 either. So I do get a forward 2-1, but forward 2-3, I'm sorry. Or even better, I get a down back 2-1 with Shaheen. So like I said, this move does have some pushback, so punishing it can be a little bit tough, which will require you to lab your specific punish with your character. If a Victor player does it at point blank range, it's not too much pushback. Okay, it still is. Wow, it's pretty good. Yeah, okay, wow, Shaheen's having a hard time punishing that. Okay, so with my character, I can't even get a launch on it. Shaheen has to, actually, hold on. Nah, that's too slow. Okay, yeah, as you guys can see, so that's my punish with it. I have to punish with either forward 2-3 with Shaheen or down back 2-1 with Shaheen to get a punish on that. This move is -16, which is launch punishable, but not every character can launch it because, of course, this move has some pretty decent pushback on block. So your punish, you know, your attack might whiff. You might throw out a jab right here, and it might whiff, and then Victor might counter hit you or something like that. So unless the Victor player does this while your back is towards the wall, which of course means there's no pushback, it's gonna make it a little hard to launch punish this. So you gotta make sure you lab this punish on your specific character to see what reaches in that distance with the pushback. But it is launch punishable, and some characters can punish it. Don't let a Victor player get away with using this move too much, okay? Because it is unsafe. It's not a safe move. All right, now the 7th move on the list is going to be Victor's down back 4. His good old sweep right here, right? His good old low kick. It's a pretty decent low poke. He gets really low to the ground really fast and kind of sweeps your feet, right? But on counter hit, it's a launcher. You know, so a lot of Victor players are gonna use this move. You gotta duck this low. Now this move is pretty fast. It comes out at 20 frames, which is pretty fast for a low poke. I mean, it is kind of reactable. You know, you kind of can see it, but it's a little difficult. So you might have to make a guess or make a read on ducking this move. But if you manage to block this move and you react to it, you have got to launch this move on block because it is -26. All right, guys, so the 8th move on the list is going to be this move right here. Victor's up forward, what is it? Up back 1+2. A lot of Victor players do this move online, but guess what? You see that frame data? It's -20 on block, which means it's launch punishable. So if you block this move while up close, you can launch Victor for that and do heavy damage. Now I gotta give you guys a tip, all right? So let me go ahead and show you guys something, right? This same move, when he goes into heat, it's actually safe on block, so watch this. As you guys can see, it's actually -4 with pushback. Yeah, you can't punish the move in heat. So when Victor goes into heat, you gotta make sure that you're not trying to, you know, punish it with the same way because he is actually safe on that and he might be able to whiff punish it. Okay, so the 9th move on this list is going to be that move right there. Victor players do this move a lot when he's in his sword stance to, of course, reset pressure. Usually when you're near the wall to really put that pressure on you. So as you guys can see, he does this move right here, teleports back and slashes you across the head, and he is actually +3 when he does that. So it's still his turn on block. And of course they can mix this up a little bit with other moves as well, but if you do manage, so here's the trick, right? If you manage to react and see that Victor teleports back like that, so he's always gonna teleport back. You know, it's a very good visual cue. You see him, you know, turn blue and teleport back. If you manage to react to that, make sure you launch this move on block because it's a high. It's a mid-high. As you guys can see right there, mid-high, you can launch this move every single time by ducking the second hit of that move. Now, Victor does have other options outside of this string right here. Of course, let me go ahead and show you. So he's got, you know, he could do this, right? He could go to the sword stance and then do double mid if you do duck. That's why it's important to react to the teleport, not just duck, you know, just because, you know, he can do double mid and then he can get a wall splat when you're at the wall. Victor players usually use this move when your back is towards the wall to get a pretty good mix up, not gonna lie. If you don't duck, you get wall splat or you get reset pressure, and if you do duck, you get wall splat and get comboed. So it's pretty strong actually. Or they might go for a low or something like that. That's why it's always good to react to the teleport. It's pretty fast, but it's a visual cue. He teleports back, and once you see that, duck every time on reaction. He doesn't have a mid outside of that teleport at all, you know, so there's nothing really to worry about. And the last move on the list, the 10th move on the list, is gonna be this move right here. His down forward 2. Pretty simple. It's down forward 2. It's minus 14 on block. A lot of Victor players throw this move out trying to fish for a launcher. I see a lot of people, when I watch replays, they don't punish this move on block. It is minus 14 on block. But minus 14 on block, a lot of characters can get a heat engager off of that move. That's very unsafe. So for Shaheen, I get a guaranteed down back 2-1 into heat. You know, and I can start my offense. You know, you can punish with your 12 frame, you can punish with a 1-2 or something like that. But this move is unsafe, so make sure you're punishing this move on block. Once again, guys, anything that is minus 10 or above is classified as unsafe in Tekken 8. So make sure that you guys know your character's frame data. Make sure you guys hit the practice mode, and make sure you learn what moves come out at what frames and what punishers work for certain moves. That's gonna be the best way for you to climb up in the ranks in Tekken 8. And of course, to do good in this game. There's a lot of characters in this game with little gimmicks like Victor. You gotta learn how to shut that stuff down immediately, or you're gonna get scrubbed out every single time by this new character. Don't let this new character scrub you out online in Tekken 8 ranked. Punish these 10 moves right here and get back to playing Tekken 8 in peace. All right, guys, so that's gonna be my video for today. Top 10 moves recommended that you should be punishing against Victor Chevalier in Tekken 8. If you guys have any questions, any thoughts or concerns or any comments, hey man, leave them down below in the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and also consider subscribing for more content like this in the future. Thanks guys, and have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for more content.